Miss. Miss. Another miss.
Help me! Help me!
Target secured. But she didn't start out as a gladiator. Not long ago, she was just a homeless ant in a dirty test tube living in my closet. She had no workers, no eggs, and frankly, she looked a little depressed. This is the founding stage. For most ants, this is a waiting game. They seal themselves in and starve for months. But trapjaws are semi-claustral, which basically means they don't hide. They hunt. And our queen is perfectly equipped for the job. Just look at those mandibles. These tiny hairs aren't just for show. They are the firing pins of a biological crossbow. She locks her jaw open, storing massive amounts of elastic energy. The second those hairs are touched, the latch releases, slamming the trap shut at 140 miles an hour. It is a speed that defies the standard laws of biology. But in nature, such extreme specialization always comes at a price. The price for this queen is the sheer unpredictability of her own weapon. The strike is so violent that it often undermines its own intent. If her aim is anything less than perfect, her jaws don't find a grip, potentially punting the prey away and giving it the distance it needs to escape. In the wild, they are architects of violence. But here, her legacy is bound within a glass tube. For a queen destined to lead an army of thousands, the founding stage is a race against time. Her body demands a constant influx of resources to fuel the construction of her lineage. The offering is a high-density payload of protein. The essential building block for her first generation of workers. In this sterile glass chamber, the mealworm is more than just sustenance. It is the currency of growth. At first, her antennas lead the investigation. She is scanning for life and for the chemical signature of protein. Once the target is identified as fuel, her hesitation evaporates. Our colony just hit a catastrophic failure. The water reservoir is bone dry. In this glass world, humidity is the only thing keeping the larvae from shriveling into dust. The colony is on the verge of total collapse. I need to do something. The plan is simple. Connect the tube to an outworld bridge. Next, lure her out with some protein. Finally, guide her to the new hydrated suite. The blueprint was simple. The execution, however, is a delicate gamble. I was opening a portal to the unknown. A landscape of sand and stone. A frontier built for an apex predator. To us, it's sand and twigs. To our queen, it's a vast, uncharted continent. With a single connection, I had breached the walls of her sanctuary. To her, this wasn't just a new enclosure. It was a bridge to an alien world. A silent, shimmering expanse where the rules of the nest no longer apply. The queen was visibly apprehensive. Her jaws locked open in a highly defensive posture as she tested the alien air. But she was unwilling to step foot in this new world. Her instinct to expand is paralyzed by her duty to the brood. I had to do something to break this stalemate. And what better than a freshly decapitated mealworm, right at the threshold of this new world. The perfect bait. by placing the head of the mealworm right at the entrance. I flood the tube with that familiar smell. For the first time, she commits, pausing at the edge of her known universe. Her antennae sample the air. Then, the moment of no return. She breaks the seal and makes first contact with the sand. This vast, open floor is a vacuum. But all of a sudden, her antennae lock onto a familiar scent. The nervous prowl sharpens into a focused advance as she closes in on her prey. The search is over. She circles the prize in a predatory dance of assessment. This isn't just about hunger. She is calculating the logistics of the harvest. Every bite is an investment into the future. In this harsh new world, our queen has transformed from a paralyzed refugee into a sovereign huntress. The outworld was looking a little dull, so I added some personality. Meet Kevin. He serves no purpose, but every empire needs its legends. The alien world was no longer a source of paralysis. It has become her territory. But for a colony to truly thrive, the nest must be more than just a shelter. It must be a precisely regulated incubator for the next generation. It's time for some environmental engineering. To trigger her migration, I'm creating a thermal ultimatum. By placing the new tube over the heating pad and moving the old one off, I've initiated a calculated shift in the colony's environment. As her old sanctuary grows cold and stagnant, the new chamber offers the precise heat and humidity needed for her larvae to pupate. A couple days later, my environmental engineering is finally paying off. I caught a glimpse of our queen transporting her most precious asset. As she traverses the dunes of this oasis, she's settling into a world that finally feels like home. To test the queen's progress, I've introduced the flightless fruit fly, evolution's version of a participation trophy, not having the ability to fly and lacking any basic survival instincts. These are the most pathetic gladiators to ever grace the arena. It's less of a hunt and more of a DoorDash. As the queen patrols the perimeter, she picks up an unlikely tail. This flightless intruder does the unthinkable. It begins to shadow her. It's a bold, terrible move. As the queen circles back, she notices the intruder. The fly executes 2 desperate somersaults away, and somehow evades the jaws of death. Baffled by the sudden disappearance of her prey, she simply moves on. And the near misses were just getting started. You can tell, this is our queen's first true hunt. She passes within a fraction of an inch, completely ignoring the statue in the sand. I realized this was going to be more difficult than expected. Safe on the plastic high ground, the intruder seems to have forgotten its place in the food chain. Even Kevin was starting to look annoyed. I decided to skip the middleman and place the fly directly at her doorstep. Instead of fleeing, it wandered blindly towards the entrance, practically knocking on death's door. With one final somersault, the intruder attempts to escape the kill zone. But this time, our queen moves with mechanical precision. The fastest strike in the animal kingdom finally finds its mark. The acrobat's luck has finally run out. The amateur hunter has graduated, delivering the first of many prizes to the next generation.